Hi, just wanted to share with you a few dreams I've had regarding mass shootings. In the first dream, I had it last night, and I was inside a house, and I was looking out the window, and I could see this man through the curtains, and he was holding something, and he was on the sidewalk of this small neighborhood in a small town, and he kept going back and forth, and I could see him through the window, and I knew something was off. And I opened the curtain just a little bit so I could see through it clearly. And I did, but I was doing it carefully so he wouldn't see me because I knew his intentions were evil. And what I saw was him holding a weapon, like an AK-47 gun or type of rifle. And he was walking back and forth in front of the house and checking for people to take out. And as soon as I saw that, I went outside to check and he was gone. But what I saw was my car parked in the front of the house and this other car coming on this small street that the speed limit must have been 25 to 35 miles an hour. This car was a small car and it was being driven by a woman and it was doing at least 100 miles an hour on that street. And when I saw it, I waved and say, slow down, because it was going super fast and it was going in the opposite direction of the road and swerving. And then once that car was gone, I saw another one coming and it crashed on the side of the sidewalk near my house and the car. And it was two ladies that came out of the car. And they both had like a very prideful, wicked kind of look. So I told them to go away. And as I was telling them to leave, I was holding in my hand a remote control. And as soon as I said that, they got upset and got back in the car and drove away. And that's when I woke up. Second dream, I was in a big department store and I knew that there was a man with a gun. And I knew in the dream, even though I could not see him from where I was, I knew that he was killing people on that side of the store. And as he was making our way towards the place where I was and my son was, I could see him in the hall by the cash registers walking and reloading his gun or his rifle. And I was hiding along with my son behind the clothing racks. And as soon as he was reloading, he looked at me and he started running towards me and my son. So we started running. And as soon as we got out of the clothing area, we got to that big hall that is by the cash registers. And it was an open area. So there was no place for us to hide. And I knew he was right behind us. So I let my son run in front of me and I was kind of shielding him and running behind him. So I was just waiting for the man to shoot me in the back. And I was waiting as I was running. That's what I was expecting, but it never happened. And we passed the register and went into the bathroom, and my son got in, but I waited outside because there was another woman that came and asked me what was happening. And after that, I went in the bathroom, and it was dark inside. And I knew it was nighttime because I could see the window and the darkness outside and kind of the moonlight coming through the window. So I started looking for my son and I couldn't find him. So I looked down where the stalls were and all I could see were children. And all these children were talking amongst each other. They were all safe. And after that, that's when the dream switched. And I was outside in front of the department store, parked in my car. And I could see all these police patrols with their lights flashing and I saw my son walking on the driver's side of my car, and he got in the car, and I was relieved because I knew he was safe. I drove away, and that's when I woke up. And the last dream, it was more of a planned attack, not a mass shooting, but I ordered food from a food delivery app, and in this dream, I was outside my home, and I could see the front door, and I was just a few feet away from the guy that was delivering the food, and I could see him coming, and he left a brown bag in front of my front door, but he took a while to set it on the floor, so that kind of made me suspicious, and I knew that he put something in the bag. So as soon as he started walking away, I knew that he put a bomb in my food bag. And as soon as he went past me, he could not see me. In the dream, I was able to see him, but he could not see me. So as he went past me, the bomb exploded in front of my front door, and that's when I woke up. So, with everything that is happening and the hearts of men growing colder, it's only a matter of time before we see more and more of these types of attacks taking place in the country and around the world. But in a symbolic sense, it's the enemy just coming after God's people and trying to create havoc, using any means to destroy our faith and our ways of living. So in the first dream, I was able to see this man, which is the enemy, plotting to go after God's people, and the curtain can symbolize the veil. So I was able to see through the veil in a spiritual sense what the enemy was planning to do to take us out. But I was prepared and ready, and I had control of the situation. The remote control being held in my hand was a symbol of that. And the women that were coming after me, which had been infiltrated by the enemy in a sense as they were driving reckless, which can represent a church, I was able to get them away from my home or my place where the Holy Spirit dwells. And then the second dream, I could see the man in this big department store on one side taking the lives of many, but on this side, we were protected and we were hiding behind clothes, which can represent character. And me and my son were being covered up by God's character in a symbolic sense. So as we ran away from this killer and he followed us, we were able to get to a safe place where children were. We can represent the children of God, those that have the faith of Him and follow His commandments. And after that, when we were outside, I could see all these police cars with their flashing lights, which can represent the yellow protection of God on His people. And then the final dream where the man came to my front door to deliver food can represent the enemy mixing lies with truth to deceive us and take us away from our faith. And the fact that he came to my front door, it symbolizes the counterfeit of Christ. When he comes to the front door, and if we let him in into our minds and hearts, he comes and sits with us and sups with us and give us the true spiritual food, which is the bread of life. So I just wanted to share this with you. God bless.